Hi there, YouTube. I'm Joy, and it's the weekend. You know what that means. Yes, it's the third episode of my new series, Alcohol and Anime, where I get drunk and talk about anime. I'm sorry it took so long between the first video and the second video that I just released. I had to deal with an injury soon after I filmed it and just haven't edited it yet. So, there you go. That's an update. I plan on being more regular now that I'm healed up for the most part. I was on antibiotics and couldn't, drink for a couple weekends. It was sucked. Now, without further ado, let's get to the drinking. The alcohol that I am drinking today is, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know how to pronounce this, Manischewitz, I think? It's a Jewish alcohol that I'm going to be drinking, and this is the first time I will be drinking it, so this is also a react video to this alcohol. So, I got this one to commemorate my genealogy reports, which apparently said some things, and so I'm celebrating with this. So, let's get to the drinking. That is delightful. I approve. Oh man. It tastes like lightly alcoholic grape juice. And I like grape juice, so I approve of this very much. Chug, 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 if you insist. Oh, that is so tasty. Oh man, that goes down good. This is a good alcohol content too. It's 11%, which is 0.5% more than the last video. And the alcohol of choice last weekend was the Barefoot Bubbly Berry Fusion. And I found it funny that in that video I referenced the first video and failed to mention the actual alcohol that I was drinking. I mentioned rum twice and then vodka next, and did not refer to it as gin when it was actually gin. Oh man, so I remembered the last one. Barefoot Bubbly Berry Fusion. That one was tasty. It was very carbonated because it's a champagne, and so it takes longer to drink those. So I don't think I'll be drinking those again in these videos. But stuff like this, stuff like this is perfect because I can actually drink it faster than the other one. So I approve of this. This is so tasty. I will get this again. This is amazing. Oh man. And now for the home stretch. Ooh. Tasty. This episode, I am talking about the third season of Sailor Moon S. Like I said I would in the last video. So, here we go with Sailor Moon S. So, I will be doing 2 more Sailor Moon videos of the next 2 seasons, and then I will be switching things up. There's more Sailor Moon content to come, because there's just so much content that I would love to cover. And so I'm going to try to do that, but after I get done with the original series and the last season of that, which is like the 5th season, I am going to alternate with another anime, and I will alternate with Sailor Moon, other Sailor Moon content like the movies and the specials and the new anime Sailor Moon Crystal, which I find really amazing. I am so glad about that. And I love the new transformations, but I'm not talking about that right now. So, Sailor Moon S is the 3rd season of Sailor Moon, like I said. That one starts off where Sailor Moon R ended. And there's 2 new Sailor Senshi. And by the way, I'm going to be using Japanese terminology because, like, the English sounds weird to me because I've been watching the Japanese only version until recently because I've been pissed off about censorship issues. I was like, fuck that, I'm going to watch the Japanese version only because, like, the English version was a piece of shit. And it's not the voice actor's fault, because I saw it at I saw the footage of Anime Expo, and I saw their reactions to the censorship, and that was great. I loved their reactions. They didn't seem to be supportive of the idea of the censorship, but they went along with it because it was the 90s and that was a thing. And so since the LGBT issues got censored out, I just did Japanese only viewing. So I will be using Japanese terms that were already in the show and not translate them into English. But I will try and translate right now. The Kietsuhime show is the legendary silver crystal in the English version. And so that's the crystal that she usually keeps in her brooch or on her chest and whatnot. And actually, since we're on the subject of the Kietsuhime show, I'm gonna show you my tat. Hope you saw that. So, yeah, that's basically what it looked like if you could actually see what that was. So, and then Senshi, you know, I hope I'm saying these things correctly. I was told that I have good Japanese pronunciation, but I'm not sure I do while drunk. So, please bear with me. So, the Senshi means soldier, and they've translated it in English in the new versions into guardians. So I just use Senshi because I'm used to it, because I've watched the Japanese only for quite a while. So I actually know the speech that she gives after she transforms and before she fights the enemy. I actually know the Japanese speech by heart, but I don't know the English version by heart yet. Like, it basically is, Aito Segi no Seira Fuku Bishoujo Senshi Seira Moon Tsuki ni Kawatte Oshioki yo. Probably mispronounced a little bit of that. Common means mask, basically, and so tuxedo common is tuxedo mask in the English versions. But I say common because that's what they said in the show, so I'm gonna go with that. Because, like, that's the OG name for him. So, it starts off where they meet up with a couple other Sailor Senshi, Sailor Neptune and Sailor Uranus. And I say Uranus because that's how you can say it. That's like how it was originally pronounced. And I feel that that's like a cosmological object in space. And I think it deserves more respect than potty jokes. Not that I don't like potty jokes, it's just, I think it's disrespectful to the planet. So I will not be saying Uranus, and I will not be saying Uranus. I will be saying Uranus. And it's kind of similar to how it's pronounced, like, not the same, but similar how it's pronounced in Japanese. So, that being said, they meet the new Sailor Senshi, Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune, and they, along with the enemy that you're also meeting up with, the new enemy, the Deathbusters. With the enemy crew, we have the Witches 5, which is under, I'm not quite sure, but I think I might be remembering that the main chick that deals with the Witches 5, Kaori Knight is subservient to another guy, like he's a mad scientist. Basically, he's Dr. Tomoe. I can't remember his first name. But he ends up being the father of a new character that we meet. So we get to meet up with my second favorite character, Hotaru Tomoe. And she is this frail girl about like early teen age, and she is very sickly and whatnot, and she is the daughter of Dr. Tomoe. Her father is the enemy that they are fighting, and so they're turned out to be possessed by an evil entity, like a demon or something. The Sailor Senshi defeat all the Witches 5 one by one, and then they get to Kaori Knight, and all the way they've been trying to find the 3 talismans out of they're trying to find the 3 talismans, which are contained in pure heart crystals, and that's like something everybody has, and if one's taken from them, they die, kind of thing. Sailor Neptune and Sailor Uranus are on a mission to find the talismans that are in pure heart crystals. They're trying to find the right ones because there are 3 of them, and they are contained in like special people's pure hearts. So one by one they defeat each of the Monster of the Week characters. The enemy possesses the people for the Monster of the Day episodes and whatnot, and once they're purified or whatever, then they turn into real people again. Like, after they find out that the pure heart crystal is not the one that holds the talisman, they put it back into the person. And they've tried so many of these people, and they finally get to Sailor Moon, and then they find out she doesn't have it. She doesn't have the pure heart that has a talisman. Like, they're trying to find the special chosen person, and she's not it. Which is total shock. And then they find out that Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune have been carrying the two of the talismans within their pure hearts the entire time. So, in an effort to save Sailor Uranus, Sailor Neptune places herself onto the gun that has been extracting the pure hearts from the people that they've been possessing and whatnot. And so she dies, and then Sailor Uranus, since those two are a couple, and like since her lover died, she didn't want to live anymore, and so she shot herself in the heart, and she died too. And like, they did not want to live without each other ever. Like, they will do anything for each other, and that's why they're my favorite couple in Sailor Moon. They will do anything for each other. And so it was tragic. And then Sailor Pluto comes in, and she's like, I have one of the talismans, and like, here, I'm gonna extract the talismans from the pure hearts and then give them to you guys as items, and you can live again, and then you get a cool new weapon. The talismans go that Sailor Neptune has a reflective mirror that, like, she can see a lot of things in, and she can, like, use submarine reflection and, like, use it against the enemy and whatnot. And then there's the space sword that Sailor Uranus has, and so she has a sword. And then there is Sailor Pluto, and she's got her staff. And that's awesome. And so the three of them make up the Outer Senshi. And after they find the talismans, they are trying to find the person that has been prophesized to be... she's prophesized to cause destruction of the human race and the earth. And so they find out that she's actually Hotaru Tomoe, and she ends up turning into Mistress Nine. And actually, I have a wall scroll here. There's Mistress Nine here, the one in the middle. She it possesses Hotaru Tomoe, and she ends up fighting against Sailor Moon and everyone else. And the three talismans, like, join together to make the Holy Grail. I can't remember what they call it in the censored version in Japan. I mean, not in Japan, in the English version. So, now that we have the Holy Grail, it, like, transforms Sailor Moon into Super Sailor Moon, and she needs that to transform from Sailor Moon to Super Sailor Moon. So she has the item. They don't trust the Outer Senshi, don't trust her with it and whatnot, and it drains her energy whenever she uses it. Mistress Nine, like, goes back and forth between Mistress Nine and Hotaru Tomoe, because Hotaru has been friends with them for a while, and she doesn't want to harm them, but Mistress Nine does, and, like, so, basically, it's like, she's like, save me, and no, it's like, and then it, like, it goes to, I won't kill you, and then, like, she goes back and forth. And at some point, Hotaru gets freed from the possession, and so she ends up resisting Mistress Nine, and she ends up like banishing Mistress Nine from her, like destroys her, like that is not a part of her anymore. And she is not, like, living or anything. So, then she awakens as Sailor Saturn, and they think that once Sailor Saturn awakens, it's a sign of destruction, and that's going to be the end of the world. And so they're trying to defeat her before that can happen. And then, it turns out that she doesn't work that way, and she's not the bringer of destruction, and she, while she's Mistress Nine, she tricks Sailor Moon into giving up the Holy Grail, and so Mistress Nine uses it and destroys it, and then Sailor Moon can no longer transform into Super Sailor Moon. Except when everybody gets together and, like, the power of friendship and love, and, like, the friendship and love saves the day, because then Sailor Moon can transform into Super Sailor Moon and fight the enemy. When Sailor Moon can transform into Super Sailor Moon, she goes into the fight, and, at some point before she transforms into Super Sailor Moon, because she's been trying, like, desperately trying, like, pounding the ground, trying, like, saying the phrase Moon Crisis make up. And it's so heartbreaking seeing her struggle so much to transform to fight the enemy, and it just is not happening. And so Sailor Saturn goes to fight the enemy before she can jump in. And then once Sailor Moon can transform into Super Sailor Moon with the power of everyone's friendship, then she can defeat the enemy. And so Sailor Moon and Sailor Saturn collaborate to defeat the Deathbusters and Mistress Nine and the big enemy that I didn't mention, Pharaoh 90. And so they all get defeated, and Sailor Moon and Sailor Saturn, and everyone saves the day. And but Sailor Saturn turns into a baby. Basically, her power is death and rebirth. And she's the soldier of silence. And she, like, uses her powers. Sometimes it ends up to where she uses so much power that it kills her, but she's reborn as a baby. So there's a scene where Sailor Moon is disheveled and carrying Sailor Saturn as a baby, and so they decide, instead of destroying her, instead of killing her, the outer senshi will raise her, and they end up being the parents of her. Sailor Uranus's Earth name is Haruka Tenno. Haruka Tenno. That's what it is. And then Sailor Neptune is Michiru Kyle. And then Sailor Pluto is Setsuna Meo, I think. I think it's Setsuna Meo. The three of the adult Sailor Senshi decide to raise the other one, Sailor Saturn. And so Hotaru calls Haruka Papa, and then Michiru Mama, and Setsuna Mama. And the three of them raise her. And it's awesome because the LGBT family element, and I'm so excited about that. And like, I love the fact that like the inner senshi are like best friends. They're total best friends. And then there's the outer senshi that's like a family unit. And I love how there's that family unit of the outer senshi, then there's the family unit of Sailor Moon, Tuxedo Kamen, and Chibiusa, or Sailor Chibi Moon. I love the fact that there's that family unit and the outer senshi family unit, and like they're both valid family units. Like this, you got the heterosexual family unit, and then you've got the LGBT one, or the gay parenting, and like an extra person that's not in the couple helping out. But I love how it's just so cohesive and inclusionary. Like, to be quite honest, Sailor Moon was a huge part of my teenage years, and one of my formative parts of Sailor Moon was the fact that there's these LGBT characters that are kicking ass, and there's a disabled character that's also kicking ass, and mind you, she no longer becomes disabled when she's reborn, but at the time she was pretty sickly and she still kicked ass. And I was never in the best of health. So I really related to that. And then I related to Haruka because I didn't realize it at the time, but now that I'm older, I've realized that Haruka is much like me in my gender identity, which I can talk about in a later video if you want me to. So, then, oh man, I'm so drunk. I am so drunk. And I've been drunk this entire time. But I think that I've been better at this video than I was the last video, which is good improvement, hopefully. You guys let me know if it's not an improvement, and please let me know how I can improve, because I really would like this to become a regular series, and I'm always striving to improve. I can take criticism, though I do have thick skin because of course it's YouTube and the comments can be completely horrible. But I hope to do more of these. I am planning on recording another one soon. I hope to be done editing this by the next time I release a video. And I can't guarantee that it'll be weekly, but I definitely want to work up to weekly. We'll see, but like I'm aiming for monthly at this point. But we'll see how it goes. I just have so much on my plate, which I can explain in a later video. So this video has probably gone way too long, and I'm sure you guys have stuff to do, so I will bid you adieu, and I will see you next time with Sailor Moon Super S. and I hope to make this a regular series, and I hope to improve. I'm still an amateur. Bear with me, please, and tell me how I can improve for next time. I have had fun with this, and I will see you next time. Please click like and subscribe to see more of these videos when they come out. I will see you next time. Tsuki no hikari wa ai no message. The moonlight is the messenger of love. Bye-bye!